starving yourself training for hours every day of the week just for 6 minutes or less of competition. Sound appealing? Well, that's a life of a wrestler. Hi, my name is Ricky Lavergnes, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about wrestling. I've been wrestling for I wrestled for about 6 years. I was captain of my wrestling team my senior year, and I've done many tournaments: spring wrestling, winter wrestling, summer wrestling. I've done pretty much all of it. To tell you a little bit about wrestling, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the sport, the hard work it takes to do well, and the controversies with the weight loss in the sport. A little bit about wrestling. It's about a 6-minute match. It's an individual sport, but then there's teams. There's about 13 wrestlers on a team. They're all composed of different weight classes, which we'll get to later on in the speech. A little history. Wrestling was part of military training in ancient Greece. It was said to be in the ancient Olympics for the first time around 708 BC. Wrestling went away and reappeared in England, France, and Japan around 186 BC. The sport has changed a little bit. Girls wrestle now, and Michaela Hutchison, she went on to win in Alaska. She won a state title. That was the first time that's ever happened in a men's sport, a girl winning a state title. There's 3 types of wrestling right now: Greco-Roman, freestyle, and folk style. And wrestlers start pretty early these days. The earliest they probably start is about 4 or 5 years old. I interviewed Jeremy Espinoza. He's been wrestling for a long time, about 15 years. He wrestles in college right now. He started wrestling when he was 5 years old. The level of competition, in the interview with Jeremy, he said that the competition has gone up a lot, and he has to step up his game every time he wrestles. Wrestlers train really long and hard. They have to do a lot of cardio, a lot of practices, just a lot of training. Which brings us to the weight loss controversy. With all that training, wrestlers lose a lot of weight. They lose weight about 10 times a season, and about 4 to 6 pounds every time. And after they weigh in, wrestlers usually gain about 8 pounds. That's usually about 5% of their body weight. The ways wrestlers lose weight is severe fluid restriction, frequent fasting, rubber suits, saunas, vomiting, diuretics, and excessive exercise. Some side effects are thermoregulation, decreased work capacity, renal blood flow, increased heart rate, stunted growth, and many more, which include death. Some deaths that have come from wrestling from the weight loss is Billy Saylor, 19. He died at Campbell University in North Carolina. He suffered from a heart attack. Joseph La Rosa, he was 22, died at University of Wisconsin. He died wearing a rubber suit when he collapsed and died. Jeff Reese, 21, from the University of Michigan, died from excessive exercise and dehydration, which led to a kidney failure and heart malfunction. And some changes that would prevent deaths like these: just stronger restrictions in high school. Weight you start at the beginning season, you can't lose so much weight towards the end of the season. Just have more restrictions. So now I've told you a little bit more about wrestling. You have a better understanding about the sport. I told you a little bit about the sport, the hard work it takes to do well, and the